YouTube? Yo, what up? How is it going? Welcome to a special time. It is Osiris League playoffs, ladies and gentlemen. We're here. Top 16 are upon us. And today, we couldn't ignore this match. Everybody and their grandma are casting it, I know. And there are a couple of good matches going on in the background. But we had to. We had to keep our eye on OneV versus OV. But fret not, ladies and gentlemen. The phone has you covered. Well, everything's blue. You guys didn't see anything. The phone has you covered. And if things get out of hand, we might just have to switch around matches depending on how things are looking. But we have a bunch of awesome matches at 13 UTC coming up. In the next time slot, we will cast JWM against 374, and then the LIIG match at the very end of the day, which is going to be a really, really good one. Shout out to the boys from 401 and good luck to them. But at this point, everything is set and ready to rock and roll. In 2 minutes, this match begins. Let's really quickly look at the two teams that are going to duke it out. If we go into the schedule right here, we are in the knockout stage. Top 16 awaiting. And whoever wins this match goes against the winner of C9 and against 411K. OneV is a team that we've heard about in the past. They were previously in completely different realm. They didn't get an opportunity to go up against these boys yet. And they migrated to Kingdom 34 to make sure they are at the top tip of the spear at the oldest kingdoms, playing with the top dogs of Osiris League. And they went through a few teams, including myself, including my team, the crew and squad, BG, SN, and now they're taking the two-time champions OV. Very little we need to say about OV. Most of you probably already heard about them. The two-time champions out of 3 seasons. These guys are pretty much everything you want out of a team for Osiris League. They practice like crazy. They have strategies. They have the right players, the right commanders at the right time. Everything right, ladies and gentlemen. This team is the one to beat this season. They lost the one time against Song, the unsung heroes. See what I did there? Of this season. But man, this is going to be an extremely tough match that's about to come up, ladies and gentlemen. Good luck to both teams. Good luck to all teams in the top 16. If you're enjoying this cast already, make sure you slap a like before you sit back. Grab some popcorn, because once the match starts, we're going straight into cast mode, and this one is going to be an awesome one to see, if we can, of course. Hello? Match? Watch? No? Okay. And try again. Restart the game. Thank God we have a priority here. Ooh. There's the live button as well. That's kind of cool. Cancel. Go back. Quit the stream. Yes. Let's try again. You. Where are you? Osiris League. Yes. Watch. Button appear. Thank you. Bam. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Osiris League cast of the day. One of the 3 of today, OneV versus OV, the big match of today. My name is Gecko Gaming. I'll be your host, shoutcaster, and in general, delusional player right here. OneV on the screen with the OneV image, all of them unified and lined up. There is your boys from OV. Shout out to both lineups and good luck to both teams. We have some known names out here. We have some new names out here. It is going to be a very interesting match. Some of the top players, OneV all across the board on those images. And man, this is going to be an exciting match. Insane power by all these players. While in the side of OV, they show that power is not everything. Some of their top players are not the strongest, biggest players, but so aren't in OneV for the record. As we look at the temple, at the building of the championship, which looks awful in that picture, by the way, in that animation. Very low quality for something that's in highest resolution possible. This is a little bit of the playoffs road to championship by both teams, with a rate of 10.3% for OV, which is definitely Okay, we're going to just skip all that together, and we are on the field. 50 seconds until the match begins. Let's go take a quick peek at both teams as they are prepping and getting ready to rock and roll. By the looks of it, OV are still teleporting in, calling in names one by one, making sure the top players, the top priority goes to the front. The lower priority players that don't necessarily need to be out there as quickly go to the back. One by one teleports is what we expect at this level of gameplay. Just so you know, the teleports into the Osiris match are based on essentially first come, first serve. So you really want to make sure, as OV are doing, that you create a queue and you let people know your time teleport, you teleport, you teleport, you teleport. That way, the people that you want at the front row are in the front row, and so forth and so on. 5 seconds to go. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, it has begun as I'm trying to... There it is. Fix the light really quickly. Here come the marches from the red team out to the field. The match has officially begun. The first part of the match is usually focused on 2 primary buildings. That is the obelisks, which are at the edges right here, and the three outposts. One of the classic things to do nowadays in this season is hard push. Hard push is a skill that essentially shaves off 1 minute out of your occupation time, and so you definitely want to make sure you're triggering that. As you notice, both teams start off very quickly triggering that skill. And the reason for that is they want to occupy their buildings as quickly as humanly possible. Hard push has become insanely popular in this past season or so, and we're seeing some good effects out of it. OV are the first ones to grab an outpost, but then come OneV to grab their own. 2 for OV, 1 for OneV, who might catch up on this really quickly. Nope, nobody went for the outpost. A little slight mistake by this dude right here, who supposedly should have gone from the caravan to the outpost and then made his way out to the obelisk. This is how you'll notice that the top red obelisk will be taken first momentarily. And the reason for that is because theoretically, this march right here, well, OV, no? Am I wrong? Well, OV don't make it to the top. I wonder why they're not up there. Where is their march? There it is. Okay, there he goes. Sloudy had a little bit of a snafu. The main reason you want to do that is you want to have a march that has the ability, the skills and the capabilities of gaining some march speed as they leave a structure. So you can tap this and then you get 10% worth of march speed, 10 seconds worth of march speed. Then you tap this, get 10 seconds worth of march speed and make your way here. Both teams now grabbing all their buildings, everything ready to rock and roll in that first stage. Really quickly, if you don't know, the obelisks are teleport buildings. Once you have successfully occupied them, you can teleport within that circle, move your city from the starting position all the way to out here on the field. And the outposts are just point givers. 30 points per minute for every outpost, 20 points per minute for every obelisk. From here, the game shifts towards the bigger buildings, the important buildings. The Shrine of War, 5% defense and 5% attack. Shrine of Life, which is 25% healing speed, and both altars, which are no buffers, but they are 150 points every single minute, the most important buildings on this map. Owning 4 altars will guarantee you a victory as long as you hold them for the most of the map. And the map is a mirrored map. If you take a look, you'll see the little dog right there, and it's also up here. The map is the same exact map, flipped, mirrored. And so both teams have the same distances to march, the same buildings to defend, and the same points per minute availability, which is 590 points per minute for both sides, 1,180 total points on the match. This game is about who has the most points. And the way you gain points is by either owning buildings for a long period of time and by first occupying buildings. There's a first occupation bonus, and you can see OV are gunning for the desert altar that is supposedly the blue one. On the bottom side, however, the blue team is starting to make their way just like OV are. But man, the masses of blue are on their way very, very hard towards this desert altar. This is a classic play. We see it quite a lot where teams push towards their enemies building in order to try to take that first occupation away from them. OneV, however, are catching OV on the way there, while OV's rally that is supposedly aiming at the desert altar still hasn't broken away, and it might aim at the obelisk. Obelisk secured means teleports are coming in. OV in the lead by about 100 points. There goes the rally breakup, and we should be able to see snipe a Zenobia in here that is supposedly no Zenobia in this garrison. Interesting. So no garrison at all for this building in case OV take the first occupation. They might go with a cavalry garrison. We need to keep our eye on these marches right here. There might be a sneaky Jadwiga somewhere along the way. Buildings unlocked in 45 seconds, so there's still plenty of time to go. These teams can now set up placements and positioning. 38 seconds to go, and the blue team and red team are having a real tough fight back here. In the meantime, one teleport available for both teams, which means one person can still teleport but haven't on both sides. No advantage to either side. Due to that, there goes the one for the team in blue. And now the team in red have one player who should have teleported forward but has not done it yet. In the meantime, the first aggressions on buildings are coming in. Rallies across the board towards the outposts are on their way, and there is defense to these rallies. You can see right there, both the red buildings that are blinking are fairly well secured. Let's go take a look at who gets first occupation on which building. Bottom desert altar goes into the blue team, and the red team in return take the top one. It is a flipped situation, ladies and gentlemen. The Shrine of War on the red side, though, just now being picked up, and here we go. Both teams are now trying to secure their own buildings back. However, there is an advantage to the team that is supposed to grab the building, as they are closer with their cities towards the respective buildings. So the red team down here and the blue team up here. And now the question is, which team can grab a hold of a building for 2 minutes to snipe those first occupations? It is not going to be easy at all, ladies and gentlemen, as this is tough. 2 minutes worth of a hold in this kind of a scenario is going to be extremely, extremely difficult. Blue team grabbed their building back. Red team grabbed theirs back. And the map, just like that, evens out like it should be from the beginning, but the fights here are still going on. There's massive blue presence on this red desert altar. It is going to need extreme security. Right now, there is an Alexander garrison in here, which is very bad news for the team in red, who are getting swamped out here, but the team in red is actually posturing towards middle. 6 minutes before the match begins, the team in red is already posturing towards middle before the Ark even spawns, and they haven't even secured their own desert altar first occupation. In a minute and 20 seconds, that'll happen, but there is insane amounts of blue people in here, and they're going to take this desert altar right back. Will OV lose first occupation on their own desert altar, which is 750 points? I mean, that is going to be a pretty decent blow to start with in the beginning. OneV making the correct plays. They are focusing on making sure the building game is secured. They know that they can drop one arc, which the first arc is 3,000 points. If they manage to grab first occupation and then hold on to this building until that arc is secured, man, and there comes a garrison to hold on to this building. Oh boy, OV in major, major trouble. Their desert altar is not looking good. OneV in the meantime secured their own desert altar, and now they're on their way to snipe away a Shrine of War away from OV. OV want nothing to do with this. They are geared up towards middle. They have their own gameplay. They know what they're doing. They have the plan. Mr. John Wick on the scene, ready to rock and roll. We got some folks ready to grab some arcs, I think. Arc carrier? Hello? Anyone? Okay, well, I guess the Arc carriers are not necessarily the typical commanders we expect. But anyway, OneV, this is where the focus is. If OneV managed to first occupy this building, which for the record, it is getting hit, but there is a garrison here, and there's a massive open field that can swarm this down for the team in blue. They're going to take this first occupation. They're going to take that lead. They are already in the lead because they first occupied their own building already, while OV haven't done it on theirs. If this happens, this is actually going to be a double up lead, because it's not only 750 points of occupation they stole away from OV, it's actually their own as well, which OV haven't gotten. So they are gonna cut down the arc, that first arc, by half of its value. What's up, Bella? Good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. I hope you're doing good. Anyway, coming back into it, 4 seconds, 2 seconds, OneV. 1,500, 1,600 points ahead of OV right now with a first occupation, extremely important first occupation bonus, which OV allowed to go by. And now there is trouble all over the map because OneV, they are ready to grab another altar. We just talked about how important these altars are, and OV are so focused in the middle, their buildings are blinking. Jadwiga is going to have to hold for dear life, but she is in major trouble. There's a massive swarm in here. There is even a Zenobia waiting outside potentially to garrison, but it doesn't look like it will garrison anything. There is massive, massive pressure on this Jadwiga. Hopefully she can hold for the team in OV, because If OV lose that building and their Shrine of War in trouble as well, they might lose all their buildings right now for a 3,000 point Ark, and they're about to be 3,000 points behind in this match. Oh boy, OV might have overshot for that Ark. And man, I mean, they have all the pressure in the middle right now, and OneV are keeping them busy, but they're about to lose their Shrine of War, which will put them 10% down on health and on attack and defense. The reason for that is primarily because if one team holds both buildings, one team gets both buffs while the other team gets nothing. And so remember that the mirrored map means that if a team grabs another team's thing from first occupation to buffs to whatever it is, the one team has nothing and the other one has double. 10% attack and defense in this fight right here is insanely important. Now, OV are pretty much making sure that they are securing this area, but there's 2 minutes. 2 minutes remaining. Anyone in their own city right now can make it to the middle still for the team in blue. And the team in blue snatch a desert altar away from OV. Now, OV, OneV, this is going to be a tough one. The team in red grabbed their own desert altar back. OV doing what they need to do to stop the bleeding. But they're already almost 2,000 more, 2,100 points behind. They secure their Shrine of War, luckily for them. And they managed to snatch back their Shrine of their Sky Altar. But at what cost? At a tremendous cost. They are down 2,200 points right now. And while this Ark is going to be worth 300 points, they're down in the points per minute game. 3,000 points, apologies. They're down in the points per minute game, 300 points per minute. So in 3 minutes, less than that, they're going to be down 3,000 points. And they're just closing the gap now. In the meantime, we've not seen anything out of OV that has anything to do with building game, while OneV showed that they can take buildings away from OV very, very well. And so now comes the gameplay. And obviously, OV are known as the blender in the middle. They have perfected the middle play to the down to the T, ladies and gentlemen. They are known for this. You can see the blue frownies just going away. Any march that comes into the OV middle gets melted and grinded down like anything you put in a sharp blender, I guess. So take a cucumber, put it in the blender, and that's what comes out of your middle. That is what OV does best. And OneV, recognizing that, made sure they have a 2,400 point lead before this middle is even relevant. And so now we are back onto the building game because, quite frankly, that area in the middle is all but it's gone for the team in blue, and I believe they recognize that. The problem is they might lose their Sky Altar too. If OV managed to snatch the Sky Altar away from OneV, this is big trouble for OneV. And OneV, knowing this, they are here. They are bringing reinforcements. The building is doing good. The rally is being swarmed. So far, things have stabilized. The Sky Altar is still alive, but it is an extremely, extremely important one. As I mentioned in the mirrored map, if this building goes away for OneV, that's 150 points per minute that they stop making. And then if OV grab it, it's 150 points that they do make. And so at 590, 590, we are dead even. OV down about 2,400 points. And in all of this, they will grab a fairly easy Ark in the middle, but they'll end up at a lead of 600 points at this point in time. And I mean, now they're going to have to make a choice. Are they going to hold the Ark, or are they going to continually keep going for Arks? In the meantime, some folks are going back and some folks are doing the OV play. The OV play is one we've known for a while now. They used to do this backwards, and now they're doing it the other way. Back in the day, they used to hit your desert altar, they used to hit your Shrine of War, and then they used to converge onto the middle from your side. Now, the play is backwards. They come in, they blend you out of middle, and then they come out from the middle towards the sides to try to take some buildings away. The unfortunate part of this, though, is that a lot of these marches are very weak. And in this process, while trying to suicide their marches so that they fly home quicker, like these marches right here, a lot of time is being lost in the process of marching towards this building. And this is when OneV need to be able to step in. And here is the way they step in. An Archer rally is on its way. An Edward-led Archer rally in the top 16 of Osiris League. If you don't smash a like on this video for that kind of behavior, I don't know what else I need to do to get you to smash a like on this stream. And of course, hit that subscribe if you're new, because we got 2 more casts going on today. And yeah, you don't want to miss those out. I'm telling you this right now. You definitely don't want to miss those out. Those are going to be some of the best matches of the day, and y'all know we got you on the coverage. You have on the screen a few tips and tricks you should know about Ark of Osiris while you're enjoying this cast. And here we go. 1V, major pressure on the OV Desert Altar. OV are barely back, but their marches are fairly weak. This might go down. This is a very, very important hold for OV, who are filling their buildings now very quickly. The Desert Altar is looking decent, but it's going down real quick. OV's secondary garrison is trying to die so it can go back home, but there it goes. Desert Altar conversion towards the blue team. Points per minute lead, yet again, 150 points per lead for the team in blue, who are going to keep gaining that lead. That is now 2,400 points. In the meantime, OV seem to be wanting to keep the Ark. Ladies and gentlemen, OV are looking at a hold for the Ark of Osiris. And now they know they need to play the buildings game, and they need to play it much better than they have so far, because they're about to lose a Sky Altar too. Can they make it in here in time to stop the Sky Altar bleeding? No, they barely made it in. 2 more marches make it in now. Oh man, what a crazy microfill by Jiangpo. I don't know if y'all noticed that he came out and came in just in the last second, which gave just enough time for 2 more marches to make it in, which gave time for 3 more marches to make it in here now. 1, 2, and 3, and that secured the building for a few more moments. For OV, that was clutch. Even if they lose this building, those are a few more moments in which they allow and they switch garrison and switch troops in there. OV are cracked out of their minds. They got insanely lucky right there with that timing to perfection. A march being a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right would have been all it took for this building to go down. And now the rally is dead. The building is still low and the swarm is still pretty strong. So they're not out of the woods just yet. This Sky Altar could go down at any second. We're going to keep an eye on it, but other buildings are blinking. And just like that, Sky Altar is still alive. I thought it went down. What? Whew. Okay, we're going to keep an eye really quickly. Keep a sip a quick drink, because, man, this is getting intense. Right now, OV holding on for dear life. We're going to have to leave this, but keep an eye on the map. We'll see if it flips blue. In the meantime, OV trying to get their own Desert Altar back, which is about to tick for points for the team in blue, who are still holding on to it, and they still have a little bit of pressure here. Bam! 150 points every single minute, and every single second that goes by, 1V is getting now 2.5 points that OV should have gotten. Every single second they're holding this building, that's 2.5 points that belong to OV, sniped by 1V. And they are now way in the lead in the point per minute game. This is not good for OV. Thankfully, they do hold on to their Sky Altar, but now they're 2,800 points behind that one Ark they're holding. Looks to be their evening point. But OV are making some very good plays in the background that we're not noticing. And I want to point them out because they're extremely small, but they're important nonetheless. This right here is the pinnacle of OV. If they manage to keep grabbing these outposts away from the 1V team, this is going to be trouble. That's 30 points per minute that OV are now making that belong supposedly 1Vs, and that is just a bad misplay. Those small buildings add up quite a lot, and 1V cannot allow that to be. They must hold on to their own buildings at all costs, including the outposts, which are the most overlooked buildings in the game. While we do that, ladies and gentlemen, while we're spectating some things going on in here, I want to give you a quick update as to what is going on with the other matches. But while I say that, Shrine of War in trouble, big trouble. Rally doing very good, and the Swarm is here as well. The Ark is very close near. The Ark is nowhere nearby. That is a good thing. At least on the map, it looked extremely close to the building. This building is going to have trouble, but there are reinforcements coming in to hold on to it. In the meantime, C9N ahead of 411K by about 2,000 points. If we go really quickly, we can see that C9N grabbed the first Ark. They are up 2,600 points ahead of 114K. Come on, Send! I need my coins! I believe in you, brother. Shout out to 114K though. They're cool peeps. BG versus Song. Song ahead by about 2,400 points. That match is fairly close. The Ark hasn't been captured yet, and it is in the hands of the team in red, which is BG, which means they can close the gap. They can actually take a lead of 500 points. BG are holding on to the Ark, and they're down 2,500 points against Song, for the record. And giving you another quick update as to what's going on. Smash Squad versus TR. TR way ahead at this point, 11,100 points to the 8,500 points of Smash Squad. We going into the match really quickly, and on top of that, TR hold the Ark of Osiris. So they, on top of being about 2,500 points in the lead, they also have a 3,000 point Ark they are holding on to. While all this is going down, I want to keep you guys updated at all time with everything going on in the rest of the matches. We have one more match to go over, but this match is heating up again. Buildings blinking everywhere. OV trying to take a Shrine of War away from OneV, but OneV are present and they're going to deny this. The slight mistake by OneV, however, is that they are hitting the rally before it hit the building, and that means that the attack of the rally smashes into whatever is hitting it instead of letting the building get hit and then swarm it for the counter attack. So keep that in mind. You do not want to hit a rally that is marching, because it will get there regardless, and you're just going to take a ton of damage trying to slow it down. However, if there's a slowdown on one of these marches and the goal is to slow down the rally from getting there, that's a different point. Not when you swarm. You definitely don't want to get those swarms going. One more match for you guys to know what is going on. If we take a quick peek, JST against 412. JST ahead by about 3,500 points, but 412 have the Ark, which means a 3,000 point in the bank for these guys. I will keep you guys updated on everything you need to know. Don't forget to slap that like and hit that subscribe down below. If you guys are enjoying this cast, let your teammates, your friends, your everybody know they need to be on this stream right now watching this content, because we have some insights. We're going to keep you updated on everything going on. 36 minutes remaining in this match. This match is nowhere near over, as right now the Ark was delivered 2 minutes ago, and guess what? The team in blue, OneV, are ahead by 100 points. Here comes OV yet again to the middle. Can OneV keep the pressure going? Here's the big problem. With every Ark, the Ark value goes up by 500 points. And so, OneV managed to get out of this whole thing with 100 points worth of a lead. If they do the same exact thing next match, what's going to happen is, next Ark, what's going to happen is they're going to be now down 400 points, because the next Ark is going to be worth more. So if OneV want to keep this kind of behavior, they must get another 400 plus points from the buildings game than they did last time in order to secure the situation. OV are already posturing towards middle. OV have their people that go to middle at all costs, and it's okay to leave the buildings at that scenario. OneV are doing everything they can to take buildings away from OV, but they're not that successful. Their timing on this attack was a bit too premature. I believe that the problem that happened here was that OneV went a bit too early, which allowed OV to defend and then go middle. A minute more on the timing, and all of these guys would have already went towards middle, and the Desert Altar would have had very big trouble. OV once more are recognizing that they have to take this middle. And now OneV starting to show up a little bit early as well. There's one OV people right back here. Vic just doing what he needs to do back here. Just fluffing marches down. Now, quite frankly, what Vic is doing is a fantastic play. He doesn't have anything to lose by being here. He can't do anything out here. But what he is doing is he is fluffing down 2 marches. He's occupying 2 marches. If his march goes down at the end of all of this, he still caused a situation where 2 full marches are now potentially yellow. And he even manages to sneak out of here and revert people from going into the middle to going back. So now the 1 march picks up 2 marches and sends them away from the middle. That is actually a very, very, very strong play. OneV in trouble. Big trouble, because OV are gearing towards the middle, and OneV are incapable of grabbing any buildings away from OV. As I stated a little bit prematurely, here's the Shrine of War in trouble, but there's a swarm hitting the rallies, and here's the problem. Here's the major problem in all of this. Nowadays, the meta has shifted towards Archer rallies as the garrison. You can see right here, double Archer rallies. We saw an Edward rally and a Ramses rally. The problem is Zhang Yu. Once he came out, open field Zhang Yu just mercs. They just swarm the life out of the archers, and you're done. There is absolutely nothing you can do about that swarm with an Archer rally. So Archer rallies have kind of fallen off because the open field swarm by cavalries is extremely strong in the meta nowadays. So here is the problem. Now OneV are 3 minutes before Ark, and they don't have the building presence like they did before. They're at 590, 590 points per minute, or even they're up by about 100. We'll call it 200 points. We'll be nice to them. But what can they do more? Because there's a 3,500 point Ark coming in here. OV recognizing this time that 1V are present a little bit early and they're pressuring in. They're getting closer to the Temple of Osiris. Previously, the fight happened all the way out here, which gave OV a huge lead in terms of the real estate space. But 1V are coming in massively strong, and OV recognizing it. They have a little bit of a problem. OV splits left and right. If 1V want to make a move, there's a small group on the top side right here that are potentially a good snackable. That might be also a threat by OV, who are looking to get 1V to march through here, and then OV can come from this side all the way to the top and then catch them from behind. I wish I had the drawing ability on the tablet, but unfortunately I do not for this specific situation. We will get it done sooner rather than later. I mean, you know what, chat? Apologies. I might ruin the vibe really quickly. Oh yeah. Do we have screen? Oh, no, we do not. Okay, we can do this. So this could be potentially, the situation could go so that the team in OV, 1V, want to come this way and OV rotate that way. I don't think that I like the fact that, discard, shoo. I don't want to miss anything. And that's, I mean, 1V are going for the big group. They're not listening. They're like, nah, we're ready to rock and roll. Let's go grab the big group. Slouty drops the war drums. 1V drop the mystical formation. Defense and attack. There comes to the death by Slouty. Oh boy, and there's war drums by 1V and mystical formation. Oh my goodness, all the skills. Skill dump in the middle, and here we go. The blender is on. Ladies and gentlemen, whoever wins this gets this arc, and 1V still pouring in. OV coming in as well. Let's keep an eye on the Frownies going home. So far, 2 blue Frownies. I am seeing two red Frownies, 2 for 2, 3 for 3. That's so far so good for both teams. They're maintaining it even, but I'm seeing more red Frownies. 3 Frownies going back to the 1 of OV. 1V, 4, 5, 6 to the 4, 5 of, oh boy. I'm seeing more red Frownies than blues. And as I say, oh my goodness, the red and blue Frownies are pretty much looking fairly even. I can say, however, that 1V seemed to be a little bit ahead in the Frownie department at this point, but OV are catching up really fast, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be very intense. While we keep an eye on this, look at the map right there. The bottom sky altar is being aggressed by OV. If they take that building, very big problem for 1V. And 1V are in the grinder. We're starting to see the situation unveil. The arc is going to pop in 37 seconds, and they are right on top of it. Someone needs to be the arc carrier. We see the arc carrier sitting right here. 1V are trying to snatch that. If this arc carrier grabs that arc by some miracle of God, he can bail the life out of here and gain so much ground for OV. For 1V, Slouty drops the mystical formation late, and OV grabbed the sky altar at the bottom right there. Keep an eye on that. The arc spawns in 11 seconds, and the arc carrier is still full. Nobody is targeting him just yet. If he grabs the arc, it is going to be big trouble, and now he's moving around. He needs to get back to where he was. He's getting targeted by that Artemisia. It is time to grab the arc. He grabs the arc, but it's different than it was before. He was up on the top, away from everything, and now he's a bit further down below. He's gonna grab the arc first. That Artemisia needs to be killed. Someone needs to kill this Artemisia. Hello, 1V, someone help your arc carrier. Forget about the open field, although you are murking OV. Oh my, here goes the arc carrier. 1V teaching OV how to do middle. They allowed the first arc to go down, but now 1V are in a huge lead in this middle. They're going to take that Saladin down, and the arc carrier is going to continue going. There's one more. Alexander hitting that arc carrier. The arc carrier is down to half health, but he's about to bail out of here. He is gone. He is gone, ladies and gentlemen. 1V. What an exciting situation right here for them. They're down by mere 34 points, which is okay because they lost the building, so their points per minute is down, but they are running away with the arc. They're taking it away from OV, and they are gone. They are gone with the arc, ladies and gentlemen. No red presence anywhere nearby. Some marches are now on their way up to try to save the situation, and this is not out of the woods yet for 1V. 1V need to make sure they path this arc correctly. They want to take it back home. They want to hold on to this arc. They know they can beat 1V. They can beat OV in the middle. They know this now. They don't want to take that risk. They now want to go for the buildings game. And the buildings game so far has worked out much better for OneV than it has for OV. But OV are about to secure a Sky Altar that is not supposed to be theirs. And they're going to be up 300 points per minute. And now the role has flipped. The folks in OV are in the lead 360 points every single moment. And so the 3,500 point arc goes away in less than 10 minutes. Unless OneV can take their building back, they must do it, and they must do it now. If they cannot get it done, they are going to be in deep trouble. And the bigger problem is they also lost their Shrine of Life, and they are now down quite bad. 410 points per minute is not what you want to be down at in this match, ladies and gentlemen. You definitely don't want to be in this scenario. OneV has 27 minutes to come back from this, but the arc goes in favor of the blue team, and OV might have met their match, ladies and gentlemen, as they are up 500 points at this point in time, but it's going to take a lot more than that to win this match. I can't really tell you. I honestly don't know to tell you if I don't know to tell you who's in the lead right now, because the points per minute game is looking fantastic for OV, but the buildings game is in their favor. They're losing an arc right here, which is okay. It all depends now on what OneV does, and on OV not making a cardinal sin. If they come in by any chance and make this cardinal sin, I will explain it. If the arc gets delivered, I will explain the cardinal sin then. I don't want to give out anything away at this point, just in case someone is listening that is on the field. And so at this stage, OneV have secured this arc. They are down 800 points though, so they need to get things going. This obelisk going in favor of OV can be problematic. OneV, however, have most of this area covered with cities. The only area left is up here for cities to potentially teleport in to cause issues. OneV can probably take this obelisk back if they choose to do so, but they focused on their Sky Altar first, which was priority and very important. They slowed down the bleeding, which is still 310 points per minute every single minute, because they've allowed the security of a bunch of these buildings in the favor of OV, who now take a Shrine of Life and bump up their points per minute lead yet again to about 390 points every single minute. What can OV do now? What can OneV do now to secure the situation? They don't even care for their obelisk. The obelisk at this point is kind of a nuisance. The reason it's a nuisance, ladies and gentlemen, is because everybody has teleported forward at this scenario. Everybody is where they need to be. If we go take a quick peek, theoretically, there should be nobody left back here. There are 4, however, people from OneV, which is extremely problematic unless they are gatherers or something like that. That is trouble. They're not gaining teleports by losing their arc, their obelisk. There are also 4 back here, including John Wick himself in the starting position. So it's interesting to see that both these teams have yet to teleport all their peeps, and now buildings are being aggressed yet again by OV. OV are not going to let this slide. They know that they lost the arc, and now they need to lose the building. They need to win the building game. This arc was dropped because of essentially someone going into a gathering node, and that allowed someone else to pick up the arc. However, this is a nice attempt. It will not do what you tried to do, my friend. I will tell you guys what he was trying to do momentarily once the arc is secured. But no, that mechanic don't work that way. In the meantime, Edward and Nebu are against a Zenobia YSS, and that Zenobia YSS is doing fantastic. Heaven's Grace on the one side, Insatiable Desire on the other. Healing on the one side, while Gathering Boost on the other side. Exciting stuff right here, ladies and gentlemen. OV up 1,500 points right now. And this is trouble for OneV. They keep bleeding, and they keep bleeding hard. They brought it down to 130 points per minute. But it's not going to be easy at all if they're going to maintain this situation. 25 minutes remaining in the match, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're enjoying the cast. Don't forget to slap that like, share it with your alliance mates, drop a subscription, because we're going to do this 2 more times, and we're going to keep this energy and this vibe going in this channel, because that's how we cast. In the meantime, I can tell you that C9N are still ahead of 114K by about, less than 1,000 points, 800 points, but they own the arc yet again. The second arc is on their side. There is competition going on for it, and there is a situation in which 114 can slide this arc and steal it away from C9N. There's an attempt of that at least, but C9N might not let that happen. We're going to keep our eye on that, as they need to deliver this arc, because it is in a very, very bad situation. Hopefully they can get it done. We're going to keep an eye on that. While that's going on, the other matches going in the background, we have the folks of Song against BG. Song now taking the lead by 1,200 points. BG had the Ark for a bit, had the lead for a bit. The first Ark was delivered, and there's 2 minutes to the next Ark to come. In the meantime, BG are way ahead in the points per minute game, so they're catching up on those points per minute, and Song are very heavy in the middle right now, while BG are aiming for that as well. While we're doing all that, we're keeping an eye on this Desert Altar by OV's aggression. Very, very important. We have up here a Sky Altar that is very well defended by OV. These buildings are not converting anymore like they did earlier. It looks like OV went from a middle-focused start to now a building-focused defense, and OneV are having trouble cracking through the shield of OV. But good news, they at least stabilize the points per minute game, which means they have an Ark worth of 3,500 points worth of a lead that they can still bring in for their own lead. While that's going on, TR are beating Smash Squad by about 5,000 points. These are the guys that everybody said, oh, they don't have troops. They all died their troops in KVK. Therefore, they're not going to make it in, right? Well, in your face, these guys had enough troops left to play Osiris League, and now they even have their troops back from KVK. On top of that, JST taking the lead away from 412 by 3,200 points, and it's not looking too good for those two matches. Song versus BG and C9N versus 114K are still very close. Oh boy, a snatch happened here. OV grabbing an obelisk. Now, will OV go for the Ark Carrier? That is the $1 million question. Here we go. These 1V guys are letting this go down. However, the cardinal sin is not being done. OV, veterans of the mechanics in Ark, they know. They can't make this mistake, and they are rightfully so not making it. The mistake here, ladies and gentlemen, is if OV picked up this Ark right there, the timer to deliver the Ark would have reset. And then 1V can just take it back, and the timer would have reset again. And so we've seen this happen in the past where teams have tried to yoink an Ark in between bajillion cities, and as a result, they gave the other team a timer worth of holding even further. And now this is a big problem for 1V. They have stabilized the game, kind of. They're 20 points per minute below. Now, they're about 2,000 points, 2,200 points behind as well. A 3,500 point Ark means they're 1,300 points ahead, and they're going to have to deliver this Ark. There's going to be one more Ark coming in for sure, 100%. And so now, OV recognizing that are putting in the pressure in the building game. They know that if they put enough pressure in the building game and manage to hold on to OV and put them on their back foot in the buildings game, then when they deliver the Ark, the timer is going to go down while they try to take their buildings back. OV will set up for middle fight, which will be the most important fight of the game. So this is insanely smart by the folks in OV, which rightfully so. They are the two-time champions, and they are grinding down this 1V Desert Altar. Big trouble for 1V if they lose this Desert Altar at this scenario. While that's going down, I can tell you that that C9N secured the very dangerous Ark situation they had, and now they are in the lead by 3,500 points against 114K. Maybe, just maybe, my coins will survive. But in the meantime, 1V converting a building, but they're taking a building back. It was a back and forth. 1V gave up one, but also took one in the process. OV grabs their back really quickly, but now 1V not here at all. They're going to have a tough time grabbing their building back, so at least the points per minute game kind of evened out. But again, OV are now in a very strong position in this building, and this is what they wanted. They want 1V distracted on this building right now. They're sending everything they have in here to allow 1V to just get distracted from the middle play. 4.5 minutes until the Ark is dropped, and then there's another total of 8 minutes until the next Ark. For OV, the more they can distract 1V, the better. They find the garrison awaiting for a grab, and they're aiming at that garrison right now. While that's going on, we have a lot happening in the background. Ladies and gentlemen, buildings blinking everywhere. 3 altars in the favor of OV right now who are gunning for the Shrine of War as well. If you're enjoying this stream, of course, don't forget to slap that like and hit that subscribe if you're enjoying it. And of course, let your alliance mates know to come by, check out the stream, because we have JWM against 374 coming up next. I'm just going to need a quick sip of water as 1V take the Sky Altar back. Unbelievable. This game is just unbelievable. 1V down 2,500 points, but they're not letting OV run with it. They're evening out the points per minute game. They know that they have a 3,500 point arc, which is going to give them the final lead in this match until the next step comes in. There comes a garrison to hold on to this building even further, and there's a lot of presence on the open field here for 1V to potentially hold and secure this building. While that happened, though, the Desert Altar up on the top, big push by OV, and now they're in the points per minute lead yet again by 150 points. And while 1V are trying to mimic that with a Sky Altar, their presence in here is much smaller than OV's Desert Altar presence. While that's happening, 1V trying to take a Desert Altar away very unsuccessfully, and OV in the process of getting a Shrine of War also unsuccessful. The problem here is that they disrupted 1V. Take a look at 1V's open fields presence that is just now coming to join a rally which just died off, and therefore this building will remain secured. The problem is the Desert Altar. The Desert Altar of 1V is in big trouble. There's still OV presence here that are just keeping the clock going down and away. If that arc is secured, there's 8 minutes, and now OV are in trouble as well because their own Sky Altar is about to get occupied by 1V. There's still a good lead for them. This lead has grown to almost 3,000 points. We're nearing the 2,900 point lead for OV, which means that arc is just going to even it out. And then it's a matter of who is provisioning more. And we know Insatiable Desire was procced by the folks in OV, and we have not seen it yet from 1V, which means there is some presence of provisioning for OV in here. There is some presence of provisioning probably from 1V, but OV definitely using skills for that. For that tells us that they know and they're focused on their provisions as well, which is going to be probably what's going to decide this match. And so with a big swarm coming in and a rally, a Zhang Yu rally, it's going to be very difficult for 1V to hold on to this building. 590, we're back to even ground until OV grabbed their own building back, which is going to happen any moment. It stopped the bleeding for a few moments, but again, 2,900 point lead, 2,800 point lead for OV at a 3,500 point arc, which is 1 minute and 22 seconds away from being occupied. Now, here's a small pet peeve of mine personally. If the arc carrier disconnects by mistake and there's not enough time left, he's going to lose that arc. So keep cutting it close is good, but cutting it too close, I would not do that at all, because one disconnect by mistake and you are wrecked. And there is no crying about it, because there is no crying about it. It is what it is. OV taking an obelisk, taking the Desert Altar. They are firmly in the points per minute lead. 1V are in trouble. They are trying to get their building back before they secure the arc, but they're running out of time. They're running out of time, big time. Arc secured, and look at that. With the arc secured, OV are still in the lead by a mere 50 points, but nonetheless, they are in the lead. And so, big trouble for 1V. They had a good thing going, but OV are slowly and steadily doing what they do best. They know it's an hour-long game, and losing in the first 40 minutes doesn't matter if you win in the last 15. And so, big situation going on right now. Oh, man. Here's the response from 1V. They take a Shrine of Life away, and they take away their Desert Altar back, and they take now a 60 point per minute lead, which is now dropped, but nonetheless, there it is. 1V waking up. They know they need these buildings. They know they need these points per minute. They cannot allow this to continue. Their obelisk was taken away again, which is not the biggest of deals considering they have 3 teleports available, which they have yet to use. But that's 20 points per minute they're not making, and they're now starting to gun it towards the middle. They know they need some middle presence. They take the building away as Egg bails out. I'm trying to understand what Egg is trying to do. Is he gonna wait for the obelisk to be emptied and then go again? Because nobody's going to touch that. Nobody's going to touch that march. That's a march that's going to march home for about a minute and a half. Lord have mercy on his soul. He's going to march for a very long time. While this is happening, the points per minute lead goes in favor of 1V yet again. 13 minutes remaining in the match, and they're down by about 400 points. This arc is going to determine everything. 6 minutes remaining and 13 on the timer. There is a possibility to delay an arc. There is a possibility of stopping the arc from showing up. And then it's all a matter of points per minute and of gathering. Now, here's the big thing that you all need to keep your eyes on, ladies and gentlemen. And that is what happens if a building now converts into the blue side. Right now, this desert altar is being sieged on, but the siege has been defended successfully. 6 minutes remaining, which means that everybody and their grandma is now going to the middle. If we go take a quick pander, and we will go take a look in a second, we can definitely see that there is going to be a massive middle push coming in from both teams momentarily. 6 minutes remaining, plenty of time still, but the points per minute game is slightly in the lead for OneV, and OV look like they've given it up altogether. They're okay with being 80 points down per minute as long as they can take that arc and get that win. Here goes the conversion towards the middle. Shrine of War, though, being sieged on, and you got to be careful with that. They really don't want to lose this Shrine of War moments before the middle opens, and there is a slight possibility of that. There's a little bit of OV presence here. The open field shouldn't be killing marches. What they should be doing is they should be fluffing down everybody one by one to allow the building to finish the job. If they focus on the one march while the building is getting hit by other marches, it's better for you to fluff down the rest of the marches and then let the building do its job than allow 2 big marches to remain alive while you're fluffing down only one. And so they did that. The one guy touched all 3 marches and then dipped, and now one is trying to bail out of here. Nobody's touching that march. They want him to stay very much half dead and very much not going anywhere. At this point, this swarm can just go to the middle as well. The middle is going to be everything. And look at that! The Sky Altar, major takedown by OneV, and they have a garrison, and they have open field presence here. Oh my God, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, 310 points per minute, every single minute, 11 minutes remaining in the match. OneV taking a critical building away from OV. And if OneV can do that once more, that middle might not be that big of a deal. Because at this point, with 11 minutes remaining in that point per minute lead, this arc is only going to be worth 900 points, which is not that much compared to the amount of effort that's going to go in. Chat, if you're enjoying the stream, don't forget to slap that like. Don't forget to hit that subscribe down below. I see 67 likes with 600 beautiful people in this chat. Take a moment, hit that like, and go back to your popcorn. Sit back, because we have the middle fight to commentate, and it's going to be massive. The points per minute lead so far goes to OneV, who are going for buildings all over the place. Shrine of War getting sieged on, but this Shrine of War is very well protected. In the meantime, OV snatching some obelisks, which is not a bad play. It's still better than nothing. That's 20 points down for OneV. Unnecessary points, because if you go take a quick peek at the battle report, you will see that this is a single march. So all you needed was 1 march in the obelisk, and that was that. And now you're sacrificing 2 marches to go into that obelisk for no real reason, but that's okay. 20 points per minute is not the worst thing that can happen. Shrine of War secured. Middle presence is here. There's a little bit of baiting going on. OV have a massive presence here. They have the whole team here. They don't even care about the buildings. They're just going straight for the building, and they're going for the building hard. They want to make sure they secure this this Ark of Osiris. Sorry, one second. They want to secure this Ark. They know it's a 4,000 point Ark. It is crucial. OneV taking the lead back, 10 minutes remaining. And can they do more? In these 10 minutes, they're going to accrue another massive amount of points. They're 440 points every single minute, 4,400 points. If they manage to just hold on to this arc at this point, if they just hold on to these buildings and even lose this arc, the arc is not going to make enough points to close the gap. And now it's going to be about points per minute. And before we even get into this madness, I want a quick peek at their other matches just to give you an update, because I don't think we'll have another chance. C9N managed to bring things down, but they are fighting for the 3rd arc as we speak, and they own the arc right now, and they own the middle presence, but they're up barely 500 points. So this is going to be a crucial situation for C9N. They must grab this arc to secure the victory against 114K, who might just get eliminated today out of the top 16. While we do that, OV are moving in the middle. Trouble indeed. Trouble indeed. Song catching up. BG and Song are pretty much tied. 100 points between these two teams. 300 points between these two teams. But the arc is in favor of Song, and they're holding on to it until the last moment. They're going to secure an arc and make sure nobody else can secure it. And I mean, they might not even secure it altogether. It is so far away where they have put it. The middle fight in our match, though, is going. And here we go. Skills being procced. Here it is Slouty with a defense as well. There's an attack and a defense to the death by OneV, who didn't use it previously. War drums by Slouty. Is there war drums as well for OneV? Can they get all of this done to the death and war drums, and everybody and their grandma is in here? And the massive push is here. So far, blue frownies only. Blue, and there comes some reds, but there's also too many blues. Reds and blues all over the place. Massive amounts of blue frownies going in this middle fight. A minute before the Ark pops. And where is the Temple of Osiris? Way back here. It doesn't even spawn, but the Temple of Osiris is sitting right there. The fight is all the way on the blue side. And 1V, they're starting to grind OV back down. The Frownies are looking good for OV right now, but 1V are in here and they're doing it as much as they can. While that happened, OV secured their desert or their Sky Altar back, means the points per minute game evened out a little bit. 1V now with a mystical formation a bit late. Heaven's Grace. Healing time, boys, for OV in the middle as they grind down the team in blue. Frownies all over the place by the blue team. Big trouble for the folks in blue who are up 290 points every single minute still, and they're up 1,200 points, but they are getting grinded down 30 seconds before the Ark arrives. And now what can they do? How can they slow down OV? If they allow all of these marches to just enjoy the middle, those marches are going to go, and they're going to go get buildings, and this is big problem. For OV, right now, they need to make sure they can grab the Ark, and all these middle people can dip out of here to go get buildings. 1V needs to keep all these people here right now. They don't even need to care about anything but to make sure that OV do not leave the middle. Ark is in here on the temple. Who's going to pick it up first? Probably OV. The little bit of 1V that are here are just getting grinded down to nothing. But if 1V grab it, that's 10-second worth of a delay. There is the Ark pickup. Now, 1V need to just somehow stop this from marching. If they can't stop this from marching, they are in massive trouble. They're still leading the points per minute and they're leading by about 1,600 points. But 310 points every single minute is going to be very problematic. Look at all this middle presence. Now they know they got to go get buildings. They know they got to go defend buildings and grab their own buildings. Here we go. They're gunning for outposts. They're gunning for altars. This is going to be massively problematic. OV recognizing they need to make sure they defend their buildings now. They have the Ark secured. 1V are pushing with everything towards OV's buildings, but because they did not delay the middle enough, OV is gonna get there in time. There was no delaying whatsoever by 1V, and all of these marches, like I mentioned, are now focusing on going towards buildings. 1V in major trouble. Their only saving grace is the fact that they're almost 2,000 points ahead in 6 minutes, and they're in the lead of the points per minute game. And on top of that, they are about to go in for buildings. They need to stop the gain for OV, but there is such a huge presence from OV coming in here. They need to just defend these buildings by everything they can. 8 teleports to the one side, 4 to the other. 5 minutes remaining, and there are provisioners more than likely for both sides. Hopefully 1V recognize they must provision in order to win in these kinds of matches. We are seeing stuff like this guy right here who provisions on his way, and that is a good thing. We're seeing provisions by both teams. Here we go. Here's the swarm on the desert altar, and here comes the swarm to defend against the swarm. But can it do enough? The building right now is taking severe damage, but there is a massive presence coming in to defend it. All OV need to do is hold on to their building for dear life. They cannot let this building convert. That is going to be tragic if 1V do. Now, here's the deal. 1V with a swarm, they might make this rally march all the way around. There might not even be space for the rally to hit because there's a 10-man march around this building, and the rally does find a spot. Thankfully, whoever was, I guess that one spot for the swarm was open. The rally is hitting, the swarm is hitting, the building is extremely low. In the meantime, a outpost taken by OV is not a bad play at all, but OV need to defend their own desert altar. If the desert altar goes down, insane problems for OV, who are now down 3,400 points with a 4,000 point Ark on the way home. They need to lock this down, and they are in trouble. This building is coming down very quickly. 1V must secure this take. If they take this building, it is going to be such a huge problem for OV, because then it's all about provisions. 3,000 point lead, and there goes the building. 1V, ladies and gentlemen, 1V taking the building away from OV. And they're looking to do more. 200 points per minute in the lead for 1V. And they have a swarm and a rally hitting this sky altar. This is big trouble for OV as well, who are about to lose another building. Another 150 points per minute. They're now down 200 points per minute. It's about to go down. This building has no defense. Here it goes. 3 minutes remaining. And building down. 1V. They are losing by about 400 points, but the Ark was delivered. And now 400 points is not a problem. That is 2 minutes, and they close the gap. This is all about provisions now, ladies and gentlemen. It is all about provisions. Insatiable desire, again by Slouty. He knows he needs his provisions to be stronger than 1V's. He knows this is about it. He cannot allow, on top of that final occupation to be 1V's. They can still get 300 points out of both of these buildings in the last minute, even more than that. This match is down to the last 300 points. Who is going to win? In the comments right now, 3 minutes remaining. Who do you guys think is going to win? OV or 1V? Hashtag OV or hashtag 1V. Again, don't forget to slap a like on this stream. And of course, hit that sub down below as we're winding down the clock. It is almost over. 1V about to take OV's Shrine of War as well. Is this going to be a huge conversion for 1V right now? They cannot. OV cannot let everything fall apart. It is the last few moments. They know that they have provisioners. They know that they've been putting the work into that provisions. I hope to God for 1V they have been doing the same. The points are down to less than 100 points. 135 points difference between these two teams, and the point per minute game is highly on O1V side. 1V are taking down this building slowly and steadily. OV are doing everything in their power. 50 points. 30 points, 31 points, and just like that, 1V starts bringing provisions. Ladies and gentlemen, keep your eyes on the score up top. Forget about the screen. Keep your eyes fixated on the top because provisioners are going to come in, and that's where the point is. I will tell you everything on the map. Listen to me and look up top. Forget about everything else because OV brings in provisioners as well, and they're 1,100 points in the lead now, and they are losing in all fronts of buildings. They're down 400, almost 400, 370 points per minute, and 2 minutes remaining. It's still going down. This Shrine of War is being protected by everything possible, and provisioners are still going to come in the next 2 minutes or so. Again, keep your eyes fixated on the score because one provisioner, big provisioner coming in can swing this all together. OV in the lead by 1,200 points right now. And can 1V bring in the bacon? Do they have provisioners out there? This is going to go down to the last second. Less than a 1,000-point lead now for OV. And they are losing slowly and steadily that lead on the points per minute game. And 400 points now. Less than 400 points, ladies and gentlemen. Keep your eyes on the building. I'm going to stand up because this is getting too crazy. We got to get there. We got to watch this. Here we go. 1 minute and 20 remaining. Oh my goodness. 200-point lead for OV. Is this doable? Can 1V take it? 1V down 218, 20 points. Oh my goodness. It is coming down to the wire. Less than 200 points. A minute remaining, and the points per minute still in the lead for 1V by a lot. They're going to gain another 400 points from the points per minute alone. They take the lead. OV down by 700 points. OV, do they have provisioners? They need the provisioners to come in right now. 700 points remaining. It's 46 seconds remaining in this match. 1V ahead by 800 points. Can OV pull through? The building is being secured, but provisioners are not coming in. 800-point lead for 1V. 30 seconds remaining, ladies and gentlemen. The building's game is in favor of 1V, which means they are winning the points per minute game. They're gaining more. They're gaining more. 900-point lead for 1V. Can they make it? Can they get it done? 600-point lead for 1V right now. 16 seconds remaining. 15 seconds remaining. 700-point lead for 1V. Buildings are pretty much done. One building converted back, but the points per minute, oh boy. 1,300-point lead for 1V. Can they knock OV out? And yes, they can. Oh my goodness gracious. I need to breathe. Oh my. GG's chat. Let's get that GG spam in the air. 1V eliminate OV from Osiris League Season 4. And that was the most intense match I have seen in a very long time. The provisions game was not enough for 1V to win in the provisions, but they definitely took that lead in the occupation score, and they offset the Ark, they offset OV, and they knocked OV out of Osiris League Season 4. The two-time champions out the door. GG's to both teams. What an amazing match to watch. It was such an exciting cast. I hope y'all are enjoying it. Slap a like before you leave, because a lot of you are dipping out of here right now, which I appreciate all of you for picking us to watch today. I know everybody and their grandma's been casting this, but you guys picked me, and I hope you pick me again for the next cast as well, as we are going to keep casting these. I'd appreciate if you slap a like before you leave. It's one click and then off you go as you guys are slowly making your way out. Hit that subscribe down below. And of course, what a crazy match. What an insane match. Massive congratulations to OV for making it this far, but OneV. Gone are the champions, and OneV now take that spot away from OV. What an insane match. Let's go take a look at the result of the rest of the matches. C9N taking out 114K. Song beating BG by 6,000 points, and TR knocking out Smash Squad. JST knocking out 412A. But, I mean, rest in peace, Eye of the Talent, right? We can agree on that, right? Goodbye, our coins. You can say goodbye to that, but... Oh, yeah. Oh, not on this account. We definitely put our coins on OneV, and we definitely put our coins on C9N. So, boy, oh boy, we're taking the bacon home tonight. Woo, let's go. And with that being said, OneV against C9N is the next match at 13 UTC next week. It's going to be a very, very, very tough match for both teams. C9N are no joke. Shout out to my man Send for making it yet again to the top 8. I don't know how these guys do it, but kudos to them. We have 2 matches coming up at 15 UTC. JWM against 374 and UCS against SX54. On the other side, TR against Song is the next matchup. And JST are waiting for the winners of 1008 against LIIG. I appreciate all of you with the awesome feedback in the chat. If you have any comments that are how to improve things, please leave me a comment down below and let me know. Am I going to cast Song? I have no idea. I have no idea what we're going to be casting. That's a 13 UTC match too. Wow, this is going to be a pickle. I might, you know what? I'm going to put a poll on the channel by tomorrow. I'm going to leave a poll on the channel. I will link it in the Discord. Discord.gg/Gecko Gaming !Discord. I got you guys. Here you go. I will put a link to the post. It's going to be on the channel. You guys will get to pick. You guys pick, essentially, what we cast. Here you go. And, of course, the Korean community are going to come in very strong with OneV. So if you guys want to see this match, you definitely want to make sure you smash that like and you subscribe and you go into that poll. I'm going to let you guys know. We'll leave it for the whole week for you guys to pick. You'll have time still. You made me stand up and cheer too. Man, I had to stand up. I couldn't sit down. I had to get up. If I could bring the tablet up here, I would be standing right here and looking at it. I had to duck down to look at it. It was nuts. I need a breather. We got an hour, and then we got to get back into the next match. I also have some Infinite Galaxy stuff to deal with while we're right here. So I'm going to head out of here. I appreciate every single one of you. Drop a like, subscribe down below, and I will see you in the next cast coming up in less than an hour. Go grab some popcorn, and I'll see you guys back here in the chat very, very soon. Appreciate you all again. Take care. Have a good one.